10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, and it's kind of cool to see the subtleties, how it changes between teams. Like I'm just thinking about CCNC's Pugna yesterday against the PL and how difficult it was to play against that hero. But this game, it looks like a pretty good pick. I think it's very good against Necrophos as a whole, just because if he uses Ghost Shroud, you really don't care. He's just amplifying the damage that you're doing to him already. So, and right now Pugna stacks pretty well with all of Immortals also. Like none of them are really that right-click based. The only thing I'm thinking is maybe the Golem right-click. But all the other heroes on his team do magic damage, basically. So I think Pugna's decrep is actually a huge advantage this game. I don't see any negatives yet, so I feel like Pugna really rounds out the draft well. They could use it to pick off Monkey King, perhaps. The only thing that's a downside to the Pugna is that Jakiro as well as Monkey King have really long-range disables that can interrupt his life drain. So that could be a bit of an issue. If he gets jumped on, maybe he won't be the safest guy ever. But hopefully that's what Warlock is for, to back him up. Yep.
Radiant team pick.
Yeah. The Visage makes a lot of sense. A Pugna against that is not the best. It's okay in the laning stage, but at the point where he gets bats up, you can't decrep all of the bats and the hero at the same time. So if you try to go for Visage, it's very easy for the bats to hit the back line, chain stun the Pugna, do a lot of physical damage, basically make your life a lot harder. So it makes a lot of sense they ban it out. So both teams definitely settling a bit into their comfort zone. DC with this game a little bit more than Immortals. Curious to see what they go for the last pick. Again, we were assuming it's going to be some kind of Diffusal Blade hero, and then just go for Chaos Knight. Was it them that played Chaos Knight? No, it was Complexity yesterday, I believe.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
He can, yeah. I'm a bit worried about the AoE team fight that comes from DC though. I think Jakiro is very good against Chaos Knight if he's not the one initiated on. Just like a Dual Breath and a Liquid Fire alone really limits the damage that Chaos Knight does. Not to mention Macro Pyre, Ice Path. Most of the time your illusions are pretty dead at that point. So I think the CK, I like the hero. I think he's cool. I just don't think he's the best. He kind of feels like PA in some ways where teams will pick him because they're like, oh, it's reliable. He's got kill power. But he falls off heavily is kind of what it feels like to me. Not the biggest fan right now. But I do see why he's picked. Stunning, good at laning. The team fight is really strong when you use your ultimate. You can also push selectively. It's got good things going for him, but I'm not quite convinced yet. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, I mean, I don't even think that's going to be an issue. I feel like Chaos Knight's game is over by the time that Monkey King gets Battle Fury. Even before he finishes it, like Monkey King already has a lot of AoE. He's gonna, if he uses his ultimate and it increases his armor a bunch, even killing him as Chaos Knight's pretty tough. Like the illusions are gonna get killed by the Monkey King ultimate pretty rapidly, I feel. So I don't know. I'm not sold on it just yet. But if they can stomp the laning stage with it, absolutely, it's gonna be wonderful. But he's got to get to that point. So they're looking for offlane, basically. So something that can deal well against Pugna, maybe Spirit Breaker Puck. Not quite sure. But they're going to be against a Chaos Knight Warlock. I'm sorry, what hero?
You may now select your heroes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I like it. Good at pushing lanes, deals a lot of damage to people that have a lot of HP, which is going to be Chaos Knight. The Pit of Malice is very good against Puck. It's very good against Chaos Knight, rooting them routinely. It's going to make their life harder. It's extremely good against Spirit Breaker as well, because the Pit of Malice will interrupt Spirit Breaker's charge. So it's pretty easy for Underlord to actually do well in team fights against these guys. So I actually like the pick a lot. Plus he's going to make his team even tankier. Usually buys things like Pipe Mech. That'll stack well with Necrophos. So I think DC definitely grabbed the best possible last pick here. I was thinking something like Clockwork, but Underlord makes so much more sense.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
So they have the ability to abuse DC, but we'll see how it works out. They beat them last time they matched up, but honestly, based on the draft alone, I think it's looking pretty good for the DC side, so I think it's going to be a pretty tough game for Immortals. Yeah, it all kind of depends on how Immortals go, I think, versus the opposite. I think they're more likely to do things like aggro trialing like they have in the previous games, so we'll see. It's kind of interesting that so right now it looks like DC is actually aggro tri-laning. We'll see if they swap though. They did just see Chaos Knight bottom. Chaos Knight is staying there, so this kind of gives DC the information knowing where their opponents are going to be, and we'll see if they adjust anything. It's like right now they're running Monkey King. Looks like the tri-lane is headed back top. Yeah, so they have swapped as a result. They were expecting the aggro from their opponents, but the Chaos Knight kind of revealed things. That's probably okay for Immortals to do so, because if he didn't attack the Night Stalker gets deep wards down and is able to spend time in the enemy jungle, so it's for the best.
Battle begins.
Oh, this is an offlane Pugna, okay.
Coin for me.
He's got a win lace, but still, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, you said 335, not 355, but yeah, he's really fast right now, so boots of speed after this puts him near 400 when most people don't even have boots, so as long as he doesn't get completely zoned, yeah, this will work out just fine, and especially against adjusted dual lane, I think he can make this work.
For you.
Yeah. See. Well, I think obviously the big action is going to be in the safe lane for Immortals here. It's always the most dangerous time is support, where you're off or zoning the off laner, and then at that point a roaming hero shows up. But maybe the Warlock would be the hero to die. I could definitely see Necrophos being one to go down also, but considering that it's Abed, we'll see. Yeah. Ghost Shroud won't do that much of a thing at the moment, so Frev's doing pretty good also. He's hitting level 3 very soon. Moon Manor did a small pull, and it kind of comes down to I think Mason getting an item or two before Frev actually is a little bit threatened. Like once he gets boots of speed on Monkey King, that's when he can start chasing Pugna down. But the hard part as well is that he can just decrep the Monkey King. Even though Monkey King can chase so well and get all this bonus damage, if he just decreps him, then the right click stop for a bit of time. So this offlane Pugna is actually pretty perfectly slated this game. It's not just like they were forced into this or whatever. They had a plan for this, and I think it's pretty easy to do so when your opponents pick Monkey King both games in the previous series. So the Immortals have this set up a little bit here. Almost always Immortals focuses a lot on ensuring that they have a really strong lane, and because by doing so, it gives them a bit of a gold advantage in the early game, and then they hopefully use that to turn into towers and good team fights. So pretty consistently they do have a laning advantage in the early game, but that just comes down to the heroes they picked mostly. Maybe not so much how they're playing. It's not like they're just outplaying their opponents, just the heroes they pick are good for these circumstances. So once they get their enough lanes, enough levels, like maybe Pugna hits level 6, then they start grouping with him and they start rotating lanes and pushing towers basically. And they'll probably mix that in with some like lane ganks and stuff like that. DC is probably going to want to just stabilize most likely, get as much farm as they can on Monkey King, on Necrophos, maybe on Underlord as well, and then they'll try to react to those pushes and ganks successfully is probably their goal here. Although I'm sure Night Stalker would love to get a kill here or there if possible, which is going to help offset the laning advantage.
Of oblivion. First blood.
That was pretty unfortunate that I went to Boba for Immortals at least, because that'll get him towards his phase boots a little faster. And Pugna is very fast, but if you're up against a Night Stalker who right clicks that hard, then it's going to be a lot easier to get punished. So Shred was used mid. Oh, we got the bash.
My flesh vitiate.
May you
Yeah.
Here I am.
He's got 3 seconds till Shrine. This is pretty bad actually. Yeah, he definitely wanted to Shrine. I think the big thing was the Fairy Fire. It was good of Boba to do that basically. He knew the timers, he knew he could chase, he wasn't really at much threat because Puck wasn't 6 yet, so just really nice play there by him. I don't even think Kyo cares that much right now. He's taking some decent damage from Firestorm, but with Warlock backing him up, it's really not that big of a threat. Last hit wise, it's super even. Look, it's 4 heroes within at 36 last hits. 2 off lanes are pretty comparable. Very even game. It's gonna be there a long time. Looks like.
Silence. A prize.
Can't be.
That was a huge kill for Pugna because he was sitting pretty far from Arcanes, but with that one and the next creep wave, he's all of a sudden got Arcane boots. So he can just sit in his offlane and just push like crazy right now, kind of similar to Jakiro solo playstyles. Kyojukin trying to not get stunned, but
I die on the field of glory. That was mine. No, it wasn't.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Gold for me.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Illusion.
the kill potential is just so good with those 3 heroes though. Just all the slows, damage over time stuff prevents you from using bottles, blink daggers. Just makes the game hard. A different skill build this game for Chaos Knight actually. Going for a max Chaos Bolt build. It's really going to limit his damage potential. But oh, he actually found him? Are you kidding me?
Remember this. Crossed you off my.
I mean, I guess it was just they saw him probably jump to the trees and just had he just stayed and he just guessed him, assumed he was still there. That was insane.
Dire's structures are fortified. Dire's top tower is under attack.
Weird skill build on Mojo as well. He's got 3 points in Atrophy, or not even 3 in Firestorm. Kind of bizarre,
Dire's
but
top tower has fallen.
I mean, I don't know. I'm having trouble explaining that one. It definitely reduces the CK's damage by a lot because he's only going to build strength items, but I would have imagined that he just maxes Firestorm just because it increases farming speed, gank potential, all that good stuff. So kind of weird, but maybe it'll pay off. It does give you more right-click damage for longer based on creeps. I guess it still kills range creeps. Maybe maybe some like weird math thing that he likes. So same items, everything's the same. Yeah. So both teams take their opponent's safe lane tower. The off lane is the new safe lane for now, I guess. Everybody else trying to catch up. Oh, actually, Kyo's going to go Midas this game. I'm actually not a big fan of this build, personally. I think it's kind of like doesn't do what Chaos Knight's supposed to do, which is... Oh man, I don't know what Kyo's doing. I'm just going to focus on mid.
Antiseptic shock.
Rev just drained him all the way down.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Rev's having a really good performance this game. Rotating mid, killing the Necro. Pugna worked so well there. He used Ghost Shroud and everything, but he just sat there. It took like 15 seconds or something of life drain, but he eventually kills him. So I don't know. I really don't like Midas on Chaos Knight. I think Chaos Knight's like a tempo hero. He gets ahead. He just kind of snowballs. You abuse things like Armlet to make your hero do way more damage than you should with Phantasm. Q uses ultimate here. Ooh, yeah, Brev's going to barely survive. He might... Okay. Probably that he's having a bad early game, and he feels like having stun duration is more important than minus armor on Reality Rift, because he basically doesn't feel like he can kill Underlord, is probably what's going on with him. Because no matter what, if he buys a strength item, like 40% of it's already wasted from the passive, from Atrophy Aura, so it's difficult for him to do more damage, but I don't know, I kind of feel like he's maybe underselling himself a bit. And he is having a bad game because he's been ganked a lot. Well, not a lot, just that one time. But I don't know, I just feel like it's not a build that's going to really make Chaos Knight push that much farther forward. Unless he just wants to passive farm and realizes he's not going to be strong for a while. So he might as well end or aim for like a really, really farmed position. So that's probably his thought process. Passive farm, get farm, and no matter what happens, just always be getting more levels in gold.
Regeneration.
Dire are scanning. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
Here I am. Your actions are without...
What's the opposite of register?
Dire's middle tower has been denied.
Yeah, just a little bit of a crazy fight there from Immortals, but the crucial thing was their initiation. They went for a Chaos Bolt right away, and it's okay, it's a pretty good skill, but it has very low projectile time. It's a long cast animation, so the Necrophos was able to get off his what's it called again? Ghost Shroud in time, and that just super delayed the gank. So maybe they should have initiated with a charge through trees or something, or maybe like Puck somehow uses Stream Coil at the same time they're initiating, because getting the Ghost Shroud off made that delay so long that DC shows up, they put all their opponents at low life, and at that point they've already burned almost everything just to kill a single Necrophos, and they were behind a tier 1 tower, so it was a difficult situation for Immortals to get out without losing anybody, even if they did get the Necrophos kill. Yeah, and that's pretty crazy too. They didn't even have Chaotic Offering there. I mean, Chaos Knight, I don't think even uses ultimate. That was basically just Febby making an amazing play. He moved his hero to a position to break smokes. I'm pretty sure the smokes came. I think what happened is they sentryed. They maybe dewarded a ward, and then he moved over there to anticipate the smoke coming. And when the smoke broke, he gets far enough away. Frev keeps him alive. And then what was the other thing? The crucial stun was on Necrophos to prevent the Reaper's Scythe. That kept Febby alive. Then he gets to re-engage once DC is out of position. They just did that so well. Really good play. That's like how other teams usually react to how Immortals play, which is reacting to the aggression and making good choices to outplay them. So it's kind of cool to see Immortals playing that side of the strategy for once.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower has fallen.
But ultimately they get a tower top, which isn't that bad for Immortals, because that's still going to push Puck a little bit closer to the Blink Dagger. They're probably going to lose the tier 1 as a result, but I don't think Immortals is too unhappy with this. Midas is finally done on Chaos Knight as well. He picks up a level 10 here. Goes for the 8 int, which is kind of interesting. Basically gets a Midas for extra attack speed, and now gets more intelligence with the talent tree. Maybe double down on attack speed. I'm not sure which is better, but it's going to go for a Echo Saber later. I actually hate this build so much. I think Midas is core, or Armlet is core on this hero, but they do have so much damage over time, and they have a Necrophos, so that's probably why he can't get the Armlet, actually. Because if he gets Armlet against Necro and he tries to Armlet toggle, Heartstopper kills you almost every time, so kind of forced into a weird playstyle. Maybe I just dislike the pick this game.
At last.
Coin I've all needed.
Ooh. He pulls him out of the AoE with Reality Rift last second. Very close there. I really didn't think he was going to be able to kill Monkey King. You can really see the damage difference with the build that he went here. But ultimately it worked out. And he gets a kill, and he gets a lot of experience from that as well. So look at the fight recap here. 800 experience. That's huge. That's like a tome and a half or something from that kill. And the crucial thing was just hitting the Monkey King every 3 seconds to making sure that he couldn't tree dance up into a tree. So really nice play there.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
That Glyph would have only been useful there if they were going to initiate within 5 seconds before the next Nether Blast was up. So they lose another tower, and honestly this offlane Pugna has been amazing for Immortals this game. Makes such a big difference here, just because of the fact that they've taken all these towers without big confrontations. My god. That's Veil and Decrep, by the way. So that was ridiculous how fast he died. Like
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I believe it. Just that was with like what 2 skills and his ultimate. Incredible. Well, they will stop the push. I just feel like Immortals has really good control of this game, and despite Chaos Knight having kind of a rough time, you know, he's farming up, man. He'll get there.
This sustains, good remains.
Illusion!
It does make his Echo Saber a bit better too. The mana regen gives him more if he has more int, so you know, there's some cool things about this build, and as long as he transitions this into items that are a little bit higher damaging, then it'll be absolutely fine going this build. And so far it's worked out. I mean, he isn't as reliant on ganks because he has the Midas, which is potentially a very good thing. So DC feeling behind now has to do smoke ganks to look for kills. They feel like they have to be the ones on the aggression.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
It actually helps a lot this game. With the Blink Dagger, you can dodge the Chaos Bolt from Chaos Knight. You could get Reality Rifted, and as long as you blink before they attack you, you can get out. You could dodge Pugna in a lot of ways. If he decrypts you, it's just a lot easier. This could easily be
What ingratitude!
Dude, that fight was crazy. It was so hard to tell who was winning that. It looked so good for DC at the start with the Chaos Knight being initiated on, but he got a little lucky with his ultimate. He popped outside of the Pit of Malice, and as a result gets out. And Abed, a crucial mistake as well, he used his ultimate on an illusion, I believe. So I don't think he got a kill there. And then the fight looked really even because of the Fatal Bonds. The Fatal Bonds was dealing a huge amount of damage for DC, but they ended up staying alive through it.
Haste.
Yeah, it's very much an area control fight with Macropyre and Puck ult and Monkey King ult. It was hard to tell who was winning that. And at the end, Immortals was able to bob and weave and get enough. That's crazy. They totally read all of DC being behind Abed there, but they could have killed that guy right there. Yeah, it's not. Kind of a cool build on Pugna. Did you see this? It's got a Dagon picked up. I think this is alright in a lot of cases. There's already a hood on Necro, obviously, but Monkey King is nowhere close to a BKB or a hood or anything like that, so he's a great target for this, actually. A lot of the heroes don't have any magic resistance. He could just decrypt Blast Dagon and probably kill at least 2 or 3 of the enemy heroes, so this could be huge. Is the courier going to get sniped, though?
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Sprint. Ashes. Quick sprint.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
Yeah, it made a lot of sense. Immortals didn't want to walk and approach them because if you have 3 big heroes that are sitting in the trees like that, it's very difficult to actually catch the people that you want to and not overbait yourself. So they played it safe, DC plays it safe, and they still get the tier 1 tower out of it. So very good for Immortals. They're still pushing forward, getting an advantage here. So not looking the best for DC. Still seeing big action from Fatal Bonds and Decrep and Blast and all that stuff. Did miss a Dagon kill, but you said it was the Underlord, right, on the back lane? Yeah.
Radiant are scanning.
Yeah, that'll help a lot. Still has to be a bit careful. They can always follow it up with like a Pit of Mouse or something to auto-catch him. I'm not sure if you can blink after coming down from Mules, landing a Pit of Mouse or not, but certainly a couple skills that will hit no matter what. And some that won't, so
Dire are
we'll see
scanning.
if it works out for him. But he's been doing really good this game, for sure. Big damage outputs, good bursting, initiation, and stuff.
Code remains.
Yeah.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Roshan
Sure, they
has fallen to
like
Radiant.
so the ward might have spotted him. They definitely see him now. Oh, he's gonna get this one. Oh, very close. Jeez. I saw a lot of lasers in that engagement. I don't know about you, but I saw the green lasers, the red lasers. That guy just died. It was actually amazing how good they were at predicting which trees he was jumping to. But I do know, I think QO plays a lot of Monkey King, so maybe he's trained in the ways of being obnoxious. I think they wiggle a little bit too. I'm not completely sure. Maybe there's a map that where the trees wiggle a little bit more than others or something. It's kind of hard to say. If so, it'd be smart for Immortals, everyone on their team, to equip that before this match, as they do probably expect Monkey King to be played. And it looks like Frev's going all the way with the Dagon. Currently at Dagon 2, wants to max it out all the way. I mean, in some ways this is okay because this is the time when their opponents aren't fully ready with the magic burst. So, like for example, Mason not having a BKB yet is really costly for DC. I think that's one reason they didn't even bother trying to go for the Aegis. They can't contest Roach because Monkey King can just get bursted with like decrep and a couple nukes. So DC's just in this weird position where the Battle Fury actually didn't work out this time because he wasn't ready in time to take team fights, and the Battle Fury needs some time first.
Is under attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Quick sprint.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Not sure. I mean, basically the problem arises from the fact that, I mean, Immortals wasn't farming that much faster than DC. The difference was that Pugna was just killing so many towers. So they either needed to negate that, or they needed to kill Pugna in the lane more so that he didn't feel as comfortable, or win some of their early team fights, and then the Battle Fury build would have been fine. Because if you start thinking, oh, if I should just rush fast BKB on Monkey King, if you don't make something happen with that, then you're farming slow and they're going to outfarm you anyway. So maybe in that way the Midas was a really good choice for the Chaos Knight, because it ensured that he was still going to farm faster than his opponents, for example. So that was a couple different games that you could look at and say what was truly the best move. I'm not quite sure myself right now. That happens to me sometimes. You zone out, realize we took Roche 4 minutes ago, and I'm asking my team to Roche. Happens to me all the time. I doubt Immortals will make that problem though. And the lanes are in a decent enough place. I mean, there's split push potential on the bot lane, but I don't think that's a huge threat. Really, all they have to do is walk forward and blast us. They even went for the Nether Blast cooldown perk, which I think is a great choice this game.
Radiant's middle tower.
So really, it's all about killing their opponent's towers. And that's...
middle tower has fallen.
Sorry, go ahead.
Radiant's bottom tower
Ooh,
is
you
under
got
attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified. Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower has fallen. Dire's middle tower has fallen. Dire's top barracks are under attack. Dire's top barracks has fallen.
Yeah. Just really good choices by Immortals there. They saw what their opponents were doing. They leave the Spirit Breaker behind to stop the skill push for free. Yes, Knight could be in trouble here, but he's still got Aegis and BKB. He's going to let the Aegis burn through first.
There shall be Schenkers by the acres.
Jeez.
Presumably a pit.
That's...
Coin for me.
I think Boba actually made a big mistake this game going for Medallion and not another Hood. Should have probably recognized with the Pugna in the game that magic resistance was maybe the thing he had to worry about, but by the time they probably realized what was at stake magic damage wise, he was already building Medallion and maybe didn't have time to transition. But if he had a Hood, maybe he does better in the fights. But if he doesn't have a Hood, or if he doesn't have a Medallion, then he just dies to Chaos Knight really fast because Chaos Knight lowers your armor. So it's a very difficult game for them, but they definitely were off tempo this game. The offlane Pugna felt like a mid Pugna this game, and you can't have that happen, I don't think, in most cases.
Stay near.
My god.
I want a rematch.
Will you not rise in my presence?
Go for me.
They just, I didn't even think he was going to kill him, but Dagon comes up. Oh yeah, that's right, he does a crap load of damage. I thought the TP would go through for sure. No, he's also got a Yules. None of that is an issue.
It would seem that almost anything can call itself a dragon in this.
Yeah. And it was a little tricky too, because they did offlane Pugna. I don't even think their opponents were expecting this. Just everything is weirder for DC than they expected. Their tempo has just been completely off. All because of a delayed BKB on Monkey King. I think it's really going to make Mason rethink his item build a little. Because even his Battle Fury timing is definitely a bit late as well. He buys a lot of early game items that are effective, making his hero good at fighting. It makes a lot of sense what he does, but if they get really pressured at this 20 to 30 minute period, they're in a lot of trouble. As you saw this game. Could be in a bad position, but he doesn't even care. Look, he's going to hit buildings. He doesn't care.
Endurance run.
God.
Dire's middle barracks has fallen. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah.
Radiant victory.
Yeah. Insane game, actually.